So one day when y'all have kids, right, you want them to do the same things you're doing?
I mean, not really, but...
Not really. Whoa. So why would you want to be an example, right? You want to be an example, correct? But you want to do something different than what you want your kids to do.
Then answer I, it said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first, and the beginning of it that follows?
Right? When are we going to be back on top? Because we were once upon a time, we were on the top. We were the ruling class. We were the God of this earth. But Jesus Christ has to come back and redeem his people, which are the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, as well as tribes of Israel, right? He said, we shall be saved from our enemies.
Hey, Shalom Israel. Most High in Christ bless. Why do you subscribe? IUIC New Orleans, subscribe. Go to our YouTube page. Help us to grow. Comment, like, share. What's going on? Make it happen.
Say, bro, come let me show you something real quick. Let me show you who we are. You ain't gonna tell it to me. Tell me your thought. Come right around here. Come on in front. We talking to each other.
Yeah, I gotta be my girl.
Yeah, you don't want to be. You gonna come to? I mean, tell me something though. Why you gotta smoke that though? What they doing for you? Calm your nerves, right? So when you done with it, what happens to your nerves then? They calm. So how many times you smoke out a day?
Someone got eliminated or someone got...
It's 2 times a day, and they keep your nerves for 24 hours. Come on, how does that make sense, bro? You know what? Give me that 316. What's been 316? Let me show you something, bro. You know what? Some things about in life, we gotta care about ourselves about, right? One thing we don't care about is ourselves. Because we use what somebody else told us was gonna help our nerves. How you tell me that's gonna help your nerves? Read.
1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 16. Know ye not that ye are the temple of God?
You say, you know what? See, did you hear what he just said? What he said? All right.
Know ye not that ye are the temple of God?
He said, no, ye not, ye are the temple of God. So what is, now tell me what that means. The temple of God. No, ye, that means ye being you, are the temple.
God living inside.
Right, so if God lives inside you, right, why would you put something else inside you? Listen.
And that the Spirit of God dwelling in you.
So the Spirit of God, right, dwells in you, but you are what? What you putting in you? See what I'm saying? So how you think the Spirit of God gonna dwell in you? Would you want to dwell in the temple for the smoke?
I believe it is.
Exactly. So what's the point of doing it? You ain't got no point. What it is that you listen to society, right? Society told you that this is the norm and this is what we ought to be doing, right? So you follow behind, right? Why not be a leader? Why not stand up and say, you know what, I'm not gonna do this no more?
Bring it up.
Why not? What's stopping that? You say you want to see your girl, right?
This is
She got kids. She got kids. Y'all got kids. So one day when y'all have kids, right? You want them to do the same things you're doing?
I mean, not really, but...
Not really. Whoa. So why would you want to be an example, right? You want to be an example, correct? But you want to do something different than what you want your kids to do.
Bring it up. Jesus.
You're the man, right? You're the leader, right? Titus 2:3.
All of
Bring it out. You're the leader. Remember that, right? Because the man is over the woman, correct? So you're going to do things, you want your kids to grow up with. Who the first example that your kids going to get? No, your kids. Who is the first example they going to get? You, right? Right. Oh, we thought you said a man. All right, listen. Verse 2.
Yes, sir. Titus chapter 2, verse 2. That the aged men be sober.
Be sober. We ain't never got a minute. We ain't never got a minute. You know what I'm saying? We never got time to sit here and just listen. We read 2 verses. They can't even let me finish out neither one. Read on.
That the aged men be sober, grave, temperate, sound in faith, in charity, in patience. Verse 3. The aged woman likewise, that they be behaved.
That's good. So what we out here doing, we try to answer your question. Do you see yourself on this sign right here? Your nationality. On one side, let me show you how it works, right? On one side, you got what the Bible calls you. On another side, On the other side, we have what America would call us. America labeled us one thing, and God called us another. These are the biblical names right here. These are the 12 tribes of Israel. Those are the so-called, right now what we call the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. What we're doing is showing their history in the Bible. I mean, you who?
I'm familiar with the movement.
What movement?
The Israelites.
Are you, where do you see yourself on there?
I ain't on there.
You ain't on there? So, that's what I'm saying. Okay, so, but you would be found also in the Bible, right? Where would you be, where would your forefathers be in the Bible?
They would that wouldn't be in the Bible.
Everybody, Genesis 10.
Yeah, Peter went to Scotland. Peter went to Scotland.
Scotland?
Yeah, Peter, I believe Peter died in Scotland.
Let me show you something. Everybody has a beginning in the Bible, right? You should give me that. You know.
Genesis chapter 10, verse 1. Now these are the generations of the sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth.
Those were the generation of Noah, right? Those, they presented everybody you see right here, right now. So everybody came through here and are in the Bible, right? So I'm going to show you who you may come from. We're going to go to Genesis 25. Because it's good for everybody to know who they are, right? Everybody needs to know their beginning and their end and how your forefathers and things, right? But that's the thing, some of them never know. But the Bible was taught to everybody wrong. So we're going to see. 21.
Genesis chapter 25, verse 21. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife.
So Isaac entreated the Lord. Isaac was to pray hard for his wife. Read.
Because she was barren, and the Lord was entreated of him. And Rebekah his wife conceived. And the children struggled together within her. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord.
He said, the children, right? So that means she had to have more than one child in her womb, right? Okay, I just want to make sure you keep it up with us, all right? Read on.
Verse 23. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb.
It said, 2 nations are in thy womb, right? 2 nations. Read.
And 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels.
And 2 manner of people are separated from their bowels. So we got one sister with 2 nations in her, right? So that's 2 separate people with 2 different nations, right? So that means they're not alike, right? Okay, read on.
And the one people shall be stronger than the other people.
So what we like to do, right, is use imagery, right? Because imagery, that way we can, it better helps everybody to understand, right? That's why we use the signs, right? So what we at right now, Genesis what?
25 or 23.
All right, we at Genesis 23 right now, right? So it said 2 nations are in our womb, right? Boom, there you go, right? Jacob and Esau, right? Read.
Yes, sir. And the elder shall serve the younger.
He said, and the elders will serve the younger. Meaning the elder, which one will be the elder child? The child that did what first? The child that comes out first, right?
Yeah.
Because they're twins, right?
Yes.
So the child that comes out first would be the elder. Read.
Verse 24. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb.
Behold, there were twins in her womb. Right here, boom. Right, read.
And the first came out red.
And the first child came out red.
All over, like an hairy garment.
So it's like a hairy garment, right? So this child was red and hairy. Now you have to think, right? What nation of people, because you inherit all the things from your forefather, right? So what nation of people does that fit? Red and hairy. Great. Read.
And they called his name Esau. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel.
Oh, you see, wait. We described what the first one looked like, right? Red and hairy. So why didn't they describe what Jacob looked like? Because Jacob looked like everybody else on the planet. Right, yeah, so Jacob looked like everybody else.
So they didn't need to describe
So
it.
they didn't need to describe him, correct. You're absolutely correct.
Okay.
Right, and see, wait, oh, excuse me, when we get, yeah, come on, guys, come on, over this. Yeah. So when we get to 25, so you can read along, and just like I said, we use this as the imagery, right? Read on.
Verse 26, and after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel. And his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them. Verse 27, and the boys grew.
That's good. So you go right. So now you see that, right? Jacob and Esau, right? So boom. So now we're gonna skip up. We're gonna skip ahead, right, to where Jacob and Esau. Well, what happened with Jacob and Esau, right? Well, we're gonna skip that up to what it says about the lentils. So the one before that. No. Yeah. There you go. Start right there.
Yes, sir. Genesis chapter 25, verse 27. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter.
So Esau was a cunning hunter, right? So as you can see, like the trait of a lot of the Caucasians, right? What they like to hunt, go out there. They outdoors, right? They like to go outdoors and do all those type of things, right? Come on up, bro. We going through basic history of the Bible. That this is just, okay, all great. Read.
A man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man, dwelling in tents.
Black, like the so-called black Hispanics, right? They like to just hang out, chill, relax at the house, don't you? So where you going back to the crib, right? That's being plain. That's the way we live, right? You know.
Verse 28. And Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison, but Rebekah loved Jacob. Verse 29. And Jacob sod pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint.
So Esau came in one day, he was faint, he was hungry, right? Read.
And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage.
So he want to eat that same red pottage that his father had, right? Read. That's the food they cook right there. Read.
For I am faint, therefore was his name called Edom.
Edom, also known as Esau, that is the progenitor of the Caucasian race. All right, you with us? All right, Jacob will be the forefather of the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American who are the 12 tribes of Israel. Right. So we're already together. All right. Read on.
Verse 31. And Jacob said, sell me this day thy birthright. And Esau said, behold, I am at the point to die, and what profit shall this birthright do to me? And Jacob said, swear to me this day. And he swore to him, and he sold his birthright unto Jacob.
All right. So what you want to see now, right? So boom, we went through all that history, give me that second edge. So with all that history, right? We want to say, how do we end up the way we ended up today, right? So who's on top right now? Because he said, who the first one to come out? Was who?
It was Jacob.
But no, Jacob was the first. Esau was the first to come out the womb, right? Boom. All right. Listen to this. Read.
Second Ezra chapter 6, verse 54. And after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all.
Everybody comes from Adam, right? Read.
6 and 9.
Yeah.
Second Ezra chapter 6, verse 9. I'm starting at 6. Then did I consider these things, and they all were made through me alone, and through none other. By me also they shall be ended, and by none other. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first, and the beginning of it that followeth?
So when is all this going to end? When are we going to ever get back the rulership of the world, right? When are we going to be back on top? Because we were once upon a time, we were on the top. We were the ruling class. We were the gods of this earth, right? What happened? When will we get that back? Read.
And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau.
Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. Read.
For Esau is the end of the world.
So Esau is the end of the world. He's the last time. They're never going to get the food out they never get. But what's going to happen after Esau though? What's going to happen?
And Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
Jacob is the beginning of the world. This is when the world is going to be open for them. We're going to be on top. We got next, basically, is what it's telling you. We got next. We're not going to be through poverty, all this dying and crying and sighing. All that's going to be over with.
Bring it up.
Watch and read, I got the art that the gods approve, that the prophets drew. Black images that reflect the God in you. High quality art with the darker hue. Repainting the lies by imposter Jews. Adam is black, Moses is black, Jesus is black, even God is black. Maybe visuals can get a black boy out of the trap, or a sister off the gram, revealing her WAP, yeah.
So what's going to happen with the rest of the nations then? So how will we get back on top? How would that happen? How would that happen? What's going to happen? There's going to be some economic shift in the world that makes all of us through the whole world, right? Because we like the sand of the sea, right? With millions and millions of, give me that Jose much, I want you to understand that we are like the sand of the sea, right? So when you're saying how that shift going to happen, you got to know how it's going to happen. How are we just going to magically, just all of us all of a sudden going to be on top, right? What's going to happen with that? So you say economics, you think that's how it's going to happen? All of us all of a sudden in this day and age, we're going to be an economic shift? What'd you say?
Everybody gonna come together and do it.
Everybody, all
us
gonna come together and do it. Do what? Whatever got takes. What you say? Do entertainment. Our entertainers are gonna bring us all together. We're gonna become a see. That's beautiful that y'all saying all this because we really don't have an idea of what being on top really means, right? But I'm gonna show you how many of us that it is that you think it's small right now. So how all these people are gonna get on top by just LeBron James? Read that.
Hosea chapter 1 verse 10. Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered.
So if you can't measure a number of the sand of the sea, right? How all of us gonna get together like that? So what's gonna happen? It's gotta be a shift some kind of way, right? How's it gonna happen? Luke 1:68. How's that gonna happen? I'm gonna show you how it's gonna happen. Right? And then I'm going to show you what's going to happen with everybody else. I'm loving this, man. Right, let's go.
Luke chapter 1 verse 68. Blessed be the Lord God of Israel, for he has visited and redeemed his people.
So Jesus Christ has to come back and redeem his people, which are the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, the 12 tribes of Israel, right? Read.
And have raised up a horn of salvation for us in the house of his servant David. And he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began, that we should be saved from our enemies.
He said we shall be saved from our enemies. Who are our enemies? Do we have enemies? Do the so-called black man and black woman, do we have enemies? Who are our enemies?
The rest of the world.
What you say? What you say? She said the rest of the world. What you say? Huh?
I grew up.
You agree with us? The rest of the world you agree with us?
Bring it out. Because everybody against us. Everybody against me.
What's your reason for saying that?
It shows.
It shows how?
Yeah, well with black men, I haven't arrested y'all born with 2 stripes. You're born black and you're born male.
Those are 2 best answers I've heard out here in years. That is you're absolutely correct. The whole world is against us. Because of what did we do for our God, right? Our God. Because what they gave you is, through Christianity, they gave you this. They gave you that. They come with this law, they come with this, they come with Christmas, the Good Friday, Easter, all that's part of that. God didn't give us that. So, like we were saying, how are we going to get back? What's going to happen with the rest of them, right? Give me that Isaiah 14. We're going to show you what's going to happen with the rest of them, and I'm going to show you how you can be a part of this. Because everybody ain't going to be a part of this. It's things you got to do to earn this. You were given this once upon a time, you lost it. Now we're going to show you how you get it back. Right? Read.
Isaiah chapter 14 verse 1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob.
Jacob, that's our forefather. Ours. Don't want to share everything you got. Black people don't share everything. Including their husband and wife. They want to share everything. We don't share that. You're not sharing this. Read.
And will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land, and the strangers shall be joined with them.
You saying set them in their own land. Where would our land be at? Our land. He said set them. He's going to set them in their own land. Where would our land be? Nobody know, right? That's what I'm saying. Where would our land be? Look, check it. Israel, when they came up the Suez Canal, right? That's a man-made. Why did they put that there? That separate Israel from Africa. So now you would think they come up with something called the Middle East. Now we got the Middle East, right? No, that was the north part of Africa. But you want to think about that because in 1938, when it came to the Balfour Declaration, right? They set these so-called, when they set these Edomites, were the so-called white men, right? They set them there. Now you see all that beef and all they got overseas right now. Iran against them, these people going against them. Everybody, why everybody hate them? It's a reason. The only people don't know who they are over there are the black people and the Hispanics over here that it belongs to. We the only ones that don't know that. They fight over land that don't belong to them. that was given to you. Right? Read.
And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob.
They're going to cleave to us. Read. Oh, we got it. All right, read.
Verse 2. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them.
Hold that. You heard that right there? He said the house of Israel shall possess them. We talk about the same nations. You said all the nations that hate us. This is what the Lord said. This is what you get when you keep the commandments. It's a reason why we all see us out here. You see us all over the world doing what we do. We're not just doing this for nothing. Because we know it's a promise that was promised to us. But we are the sons of God, and you are daughters of Sarah. You are the same. We are the people of the book.
That's right.
You got to believe you're the people of the book and act like you're the people of the book. Read.
Them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids.
They're going to be your servants and handmaids. You know, one time that the so-called black woman feet never touched the ground. Somewhat, well, these nations used to carry you from point A to point B.
Bring it up.
You used to run these nations. They did what you wanted. They paid you taxes.
Right.
You lost that because we sinned. And now we're back here. We got to what you got to do to get that back. What we got to do for Jesus Christ to return so that we can get what's rightfully ours.
Bring it up.
The kingdom of God. You got to know who you are. And the kingdom of God is not for everybody. They will be there, but they're going to be there as your servants and handmaids.
What you say?
Everything that they did right in that Bible, that's what we gotta do. We gotta go back.
That's right.
Right. That's the we got. This is the this, and how you going to learn that, right? You're going to learn that by coming back to the Bible.
Across the earth, the prophets move. From city streets to distant lands, the message is the same. Israel must rise. Through every quest, every journey, the truth spreads. No border can contain it. No distance can silence it. Our nation lives in every moment. In joy, we celebrate marriages. In sorrow, we honor our dead. On the Sabbath, we gather as one. Families rejoicing together, bound by the commandments of God. Yet are we tried. From the stones in Kenya to the hatred in Montana, we endure as a soldier of the Lord. And still, the mission expands. On the airways, on the screens, in every nation under heaven, Israel's voice is heard. We build our communities. We raise our children in royalty. We restore what was broken. We clean what was defiled. We show the world who we are. This is Israel united in Christ. Nation in motion. Nation endures.